Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
What's up and what's going on, fellow fanatics, and welcome back to another episode. And I'm already laughing because this episode is actually going to be pretty, it's going to be a topic that, it's a hot topic. It's a topic that everybody's talking about, and it's the slap.
It won't leave my feed.
Heard round the world, and that is from Will Smith slapping the dog shit out of Chris Rock. And I do mean the dog shit.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, all right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for.
Now, I don't watch the Oscars. I'm not an Oscars fan, but one thing I do know is that the Oscars was dead on arrival. This was something that was talked about way before the Oscars. Now, we didn't talk about it. This was just talked about on the internet space way before the Oscars even arrived, that the Oscars was going to be shit. And they have been. The Oscars have steadily been declining since 2014. They have gone down. The viewership has gone down since 2014. I'll say this, too, before I pass it off or get these guys' thoughts. When I did, I didn't watch the Oscars, so I saw the moment on YouTube. But when I saw the moment, it felt like I was watching the MTV Movie Awards more than I was watching the Oscars. That's a Kanye VMA moment for me. That's not something when I hear Oscars, I think elegance. I think it's supposed to be fancy schmancy. But then you got Will Smith, and I do mean cleanly, smoothly, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air style, like walking up and slapping the dog shit out of Chris Rock. So when you saw that, Cody, where'd your mind go? What'd you think when you saw the slap or heard the slap from around the world?
Well, let me just kind of paint you guys a picture. I wake up this morning. I check my phone. I see my Planet Fanatics Snapchat group chat talking about how Will slapped Chris Rock. So I have to immediately go to YouTube, watch that shit. I watched it a couple times, and the first scene I see is Will laughing at Chris Rock's joke about his wife, which was arguably funny. I mean, he's a comedian. Like, his job is to say offensive things, in my opinion. So, I mean, Jada looks at Will after looking at Chris Rock and staring daggers at him, turns those daggers to Will, and he's like, oh, crap. Now I gotta go protect my wife, and goes up there and slaps Chris Rock, and I'm just like, will you just divorce that woman? Oh my God. Please, if you're watching this, leave her. And then him just yelling, leave my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth. I don't know. It was just all just way over the top and just seemed like a middle school conflict that just kind of went down on national television.
Childish is a word you can use.
With 50-year-old men doing it, though.
Q, what did you think of, Chris Rock's, what he said? Did you think the joke was even funny? I mean, what did you think about what he said on stage?
My initial reaction, I actually DM'd Will Smith, and I was like, you just like me, bro. Like, in the sense of, like, for the last year, I feel like Will Smith has been the butt of all these jokes online. And I feel like he's done well at handling all this. And, like, he's trying to get rid of all this. But it's like, as a comedian, you make that joke at, like, one of your own shows. Not on live TV in a room full of her celebrity peers. I don't see a reason to essentially make a black woman feel like that. I don't know. I just know black women are insecure about their hair. And I feel like, as a black man, you should know that. Even if you're making that joke, I just don't feel like it was the right joke to make in that moment. And then hearing he did the same thing in 2016 and Will didn't do it. I don't know, I just feel like the moment's been coming. I feel like there's obviously better ways to handle it, but then again, I feel like there's worse ways. Like, he could have punched him. He could have done much more. In my sense, walking up and slapping him because he made your wife feel bad, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal.
Trey, what do you think?
All right, so two things to this. One, I think it was fucking childish. into the story. So one, Will Smith has built his career off comedy, right? And let's not forget Ricky Gervais has literally been to the Oscars and compared people in the crowd to being child rapists.
It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care.
Like, they talk shit at the Oscars. It's an ongoing thing that has gone on forever. If you feel like the joke is too personal, it's a very easy, hey man, that's enough. It's a very simple way to do it. Get up and leave if you have to. But to get on stage and assault a man in the middle of a comedy bit, because it was assault, he could have gone to jail for it, you didn't prove a point. My second point to this is I've seen a lot of people on the internet being like, where's the men that do this for their wives and la-da-da. This is fucking toxic. You're talking about a man who literally went on stage at an awards show and hit another man in the face. Like, it wasn't cool, it wasn't this and that. You can defend your wife and defend your family in multiple ways without literally hitting a man for doing what he was paid and invited and brought there for that reason. And I just can't get behind it. As a fan of comedy, it's like either we're not going to make any jokes about anybody at all, period. You can't make a fucking joke, or it's fair game. He didn't repeatedly go in on her. He made one joke, and that's it. But no, you can't make one joke about this person, but everyone else is fair game. That's not fair. That's not how this works. And it's childish. I'm sorry it is. Again, if it offends you, raise your hand, say, man, stop, or get up and leave. That would make a bigger statement. But going up and hitting him, it's like, this man just seems like he'd been pushed over the edge. I just can't, you know.
Well, you know, I see both sides. I see both sides. And I'm not on either one side, but I do see both sides. You know, everybody's saying, well, Will Smith laughed first. Well, how many times have we laughed out of being uncomfortable? Because I've definitely done it.
Yeah, that's a reaction.
I've definitely laughed with
that's fair.
feeling uncomfortable in an uncomfortable situation.
Back-to-back jokes,
Right.
you know, the mood is to laugh. I
Right.
think
Right.
He was expecting his wife up next.
I'm sure he wasn't expecting.
But how's he gonna laugh at all these other people? He's gonna laugh at all these other jokes about other people, but you say something about his
Well,
wife.
I mean, here we go. And then here's the thing too, Chris Rock, in that position, who has made a whole ass documentary about black hair and how black hair is important. You know what the culture is like. You know what the community is like. So for you as a black man to sit up on that stage and make that kind of joke about a woman you know was dealing with alopecia, who said this back in 2018. Half of black women deal with alopecia. So that's a very sensitive subject just for the community as a whole. So for you as a black man to sit there on that stage and then ridicule this black woman and say, clue me in on the next G.I. Jane movie, brother, you're wrong. I don't give a fuck how many jokes have been made at the Oscars before. You're wrong. Community-wise, you're wrong. Now, is Will right in going up there and hitting him? I'm not going to say yes and I'm not going to say no. And I'm not going to say yes or no simply because I've been in a position. I hit the dog shit out of my sister's manager. I've been in the position of having to stand up for somebody that you love. And yes, like you said, this man has been the butt of jokes and memes and all these kind of shit on the internet since that entanglement shit and all that red table toxic talk that Jada does. He's been the butt of everybody's jokes. And ever since all of that, you got to think as a man, as a black man, as an accomplished actor, this is my first Oscar too. My wife is sitting right here. Yes, we may have had some issues in our home that has been public knowledge, but we also don't know the inner dealings between Jada and Will behind closed doors. We don't know what the fuck they've talked about outside of the public. Yes, we've read headlines, but how many times have headlines lied?
Sure.
We don't know what's going on in the Smith household.
Sure.
So they could be just as close as ever. We don't know.
Right.
So when you then attack this man's wife, then yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I would too. I really can't say that I wouldn't. I'm gonna dog walk you, bro.
Well, okay,
I'm a dog walk
but
you.
Can I go in on this real fast? Not to cut off your point. I do not think he was just assaulting and being just berating.
I
his
don't
wife.
think so. But
he made one joke.
No, two. This is not the first time Chris Rock has talked about Jada and the Smiths. This is not the first time. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Chris Rock is maybe aware, maybe he is, maybe he's not, that she has alopecia. I'm not going to say that he's not. I'm more inclined to believe he did know she has alopecia. I mean, and knowing that, you have a whole ass documentary that I guess maybe you just made just because to keep your black card, or maybe because you want to feel connected to the community. I don't know, but you made a whole ass documentary catering to black hair.
Right.
So why then make that joke at her expense?
Because, okay, here's the deal. When it comes to a lot of comedy, there are a lot of fucked up jokes made. There are a lot, and if you police comedy like that, if you police it, then we might as well shut comedy
again,
down.
I'm not on
Then we might as well
I'm not on
shut.
anyone's side.
That's my whole deal with that.
And I'm on that side.
And that is where I get it. I get it. We don't know how close Chris Rock is with this family.
I completely agree with that.
We don't know this and that, but I am why I made it a point to say I'm a fan of comedy is because you start saying, "Oh, you can't make that joke." Well, fucking don't make any jokes anymore. If we're gonna say this group is offended by this joke, fuck every joke you're gonna make.
So you think comedy is somewhere you can just make any joke, like anything flies as a joke? No.
I don't think anything flies as a joke.
No, I literally think there are actually
I think there are ramifications.
Well, I mean, it depends on how far you're going in on a group, but like, no, it is. I mean, it is a big deal with most stand-up
you
comedians.
You can't say anything and be like, it's a joke. No, like that.
No, if your intent is to be funny, if your intent is to make a joke, not to specifically target and hurt someone, then it's a joke. That's the whole point.
But if I went up on stage and I said a joke and said the N-word, I don't think that's okay.
Well, no, but that's also not something you see.
But that's not. That's a thing that's not okay.
But saying the N-word is not a joke. Like that's not.
But I could say it in a joke when I was like, "Oh, but I meant it to be funny."
Well, some
but I don't know. I don't get what you're not seeing.
I get what you're saying. One thing too, I just want to circle it back really quick here to my overall ending point here, because again, I'm on no one side. It does look bad community-wise, and people can sit out there and say, "Oh, Darius, da 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 da." No. Yes, there are times where I can get ghetto or whatever you want to call it if I got to, but there are also times where I can be very professional. I understand the room, the element, and wherever I am. So my thing with that is, we saw on national television, brothers, Chris Rock and Will, two black prominent actors and comedians. We saw one black actor get hit by another black man on television while trying to give an award to a third black man for making a movie about black culture. So that looks bad for me to the community. So for everybody out there saying, "Oh, that's the Philly," and that's cool. That's cool. I get it. Everybody's gonna have their different perspectives. And again, I'm not on one side here. I'm just saying that there's a time and a place. But I'm also not saying that that wasn't the place to hit him. Yeah. But one thing last thing I will say, I do want to applaud Chris Rock because brother got slapped.
Yeah, he handled it well.
You gonna smack me, bitch? In front of my friends? You gonna smack me?
He handled it very well.
Oh wow!
He handled it very well because I'm gonna be honest, if that had been me in Chris Rock's position, I'm sleeping you. After I realize, you're not joking.
But that is also why I feel like that's why I feel like there was less malice, and maybe that is the only reason why I feel like Chris Rock didn't intend what came about, because he was like, man, it was a joke, la da da, and
yes,
because
I agree.
If he was being petty, what could he have done? He could have literally turned around and be like, I'm sorry, that joke had a little bit of an entanglement.
This is why I said I'm on.
And start really going in, dude. The petty in him could have come out real quick.
Well, it almost did.
But it didn't, because he literally realized, I meant it as a fucking joke. My fucking bad, I'm not gonna do it again. And the point also remains, props on him too, because if you're in any kind of social setting like that, go up and punch someone in the face and watch you leave in a cop car. Watch you get charges pressed on you. Well, I mean, he handled it with grace, and he also didn't want to press charges. He felt like, I fucked up, made a joke I shouldn't have made. I was trying to be funny. There was not the intent to cause that.
Right. And to that point of him, what you said, him not pressing charges, well, the Academy ended up tweeting, the Academy does not condone violence of any form. Tonight, we are delighted to celebrate our 94th Academy Award winners who deserve this moment in recognition from their peers and movie lovers around the world. So, the Academy did not approve with what Will did, and in the Academy Code of Conduct, they are within their rights to take back the award if they want to. Again, I think that'd be stupid if they did that, because the award was for Best Actor. What he did not diminish that he is still the best actor. It just showed, okay, don't talk about Jada.
Right.
Yeah. You might get the shit slapped out of you.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
Right.
And and here's something that might be problematic. This is a topic we had. We talked about Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith after tweeted, "That's how we do it." Is that a problem? And the reason I say is that a problem because Marvel does not look lightly on things like that. When you're tweeting things like that. Disney, not just Marvel, Disney is in general. If he was indeed being cast as Miles
Morales.
tweeting that. But then again, I'm not saying that what he tweeted was wrong, because again, I ride for mine, bro. My siblings know I ride for mine. If that's one of my siblings, you damn right I'm tweeting whatever, putting out on Snap, whatever, backing my family up.
Right.
Family first. You can do that Hollywood shit, but it's family first.
No, I definitely think. I mean, he's being a good son doing that.
Right.
To be honest,
I mean,
but
at the end of the day, I just think like everyone here opinion is like valid. I don't think the incident should have happened how it happened because, like you said, time and place. Professional. But at the same time, I think it's just something that as celebrities, even like they need to remember. Like everyone's human.
Yes, that's really the thing.
We all come from different backgrounds where we're gonna have different emotions and different outlooks on how we should handle situations and how we should get our consequences for those situations. But at the same time, like you said, I don't think anything Will Smith did last night diminishes anything he's done for his whole career.
No.
True.
I don't
definitely
think.
Not.
No.
I do want to say, like you said, Chris Rock handled it absolutely the best way he could, because I most certainly would not have handled it like that. But at the same time, it's just it does look bad just for the whole thing, and it's like
it does.
It shouldn't have happened, but at the same time, I understand why he did it. I understand everything. I do. It's just it shouldn't have happened, but I get it.
No, and Trey, to back up to your point there, I agree with you completely on what you were saying about where do we draw the line then with comedians. Will is a comedian. It's not like Will has not done stand-up. Chris Rock was on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, guest on an episode. They both come from comic backgrounds, so it's like, where do you draw the line? Are comedians not allowed to poke fun? I mean, and again, I know I'm not trying to contradict myself.
I feel like that's a joke you spit out on your special show on HBO Max. You don't, especially when, like you said, that's something she's insecure about most likely. You don't do that on a night where you feel like you said, Will's about to win his first Oscars.
Right.
You see him sitting there nicely laughing with his wife. He could have said a whole different joke about her, and I'm sure.
Well, and you could have also seen that in Chris Rock's face, he was probably like, "Oh shit, I really thought it was funny. I didn't think."
If he would have hit an entanglement joke, it might have been lighter than him joking about.
I don't think so, personally. I don't think so.
But Will's been the butt of that joke so many times. He already knows.
But not publicly like that, though.
No, but everyone in that room still already knows.
But I mean, when I say when I say not publicly, I mean not with him in the same room.
And I also think
publicly.
I also think that making the G.I. Jane joke, I feel like, is a bit more of I'm scanning the crowd, see if someone see someone bald make the joke, versus I'm gonna bring up your marriage in front of all these people.
I feel like.
But if I could say one last thing about this, and this goes into we talk about Will and celebrities in general. A thing that has to be taken into account here is all the stuff Will's been the butt of a joke on. All the shit that's been public knowledge, they put out there. Right. You put out to the public that you didn't have to. We didn't need to know shit about what you were going through. About the entanglement, about this and that. You put it out there for us to, you're a public figure. Memes literally come out about anything moments after they happen, right? You put it there, and it's still affecting you emotionally. Bro, you're a celebrity, you should have not fucking said anything. Because obviously we are gonna have our opinions. Right. You are, everyone in that room, the richest, the wealthiest socialites, right? Boo-hoo if someone made a joke at your expense. You are multi-millionaires. You put your lives out there for us to see. At the end of the day, get over it. I'm sorry, but that goes back to the reaction is very simply, hey man, stop.
I agree with that.
Or, hey, we're leaving, and calling it a day, because I'm sorry, but having a wild reaction of me and my wife and nobody knows us, or sitting down somewhere and you just start going in, is, well, you don't fucking know me, is way different than, y'all know all of our business because we put it out for millions of people all over the world to judge.
But see, that wasn't what, it'd been different if he would have said something about the entanglement thing. And again, I'm not saying right or wrong. Again, I'm on no one side.
Right.
But it's been different if that would have been the joke about the entanglement. But the difference is she's dealing with the condition, again, black women deal with in general. It's just a sensitive topic.
Well, that's why I think, from judging from Chris Rock's reaction, he was literally doing the on-the-fly, making jokes about anything he sees real quick. He recovered, because he didn't mean to do that. That was never his intention. I mean, what are you going to do? Get on stage and I'm going to intentionally make Will Smith hit me in the face? No, that wasn't a plan.
Right.
That was not decided. He did not go in and choose violence that day.
No.
He fucked up and walked into it.
And I can attest to that, because the day I slapped the dog shit out of my sister's manager, I didn't intend to hit that day. That's just how it happened. That's just how it happened.
It's just
You know, so, you know, and one of the things I will say, last things here I will say, I loved how Denzel and Tyler Perry went over there during the commercial break and talked to Will, and Will was visibly upset. He was shaken. He was wiping tears from his eyes, but Denzel told him, and as you heard in Will's speech, which I loved, I know it's controversial out there to some, but I loved his speech. He told him the devil always strikes you when you're at your highest. And I love, that's that type of brother moment. That's love that. I love it. Like I said, I'm not on one side, I'm not on the other side, but I am on the side of Tiffany Haddish even said, what would you do in that moment? From my understanding, being in the audience, as soon as he said that joke, the camera zoomed in on Jada and her face was blasted in the room. So Tiffany Haddish said in that moment, what would you do? Would you not do that for your husband or for your wife or whatever?
I want to know how you felt about it. Would you want your husband to do that for you if you was clearly hurt? I mean, they put her face up on the screen. He looked over at his wife. She was hurt. What would you want?
I would want him to defend me. The thing that made me sad was like this was a big night for Will, and then you saw that emotion for him, and it was like it's just I don't think I've still processed how this night went. You know.
Well, I just know she better take care of business when they get home.
And you know, a lot of people out there saying, my man, my husband, my whatever, better ride for me that way. And you know, and there are other people on the opposite side, but as always, question is for you. What is it that you guys think? Do you guys think that Will Smith was in the right here? Would you, females, males, whatever, want someone to step up for you like that? Or would you want the opposite? Would you want them to have more restraint and more control and be able to just maybe talk about it to the side and say, hey, I didn't like that? Did you think that what Will did was appropriate? Did you think that what Chris Rock said was appropriate? Did you think that, hey, this is comedy, this is the Oscars, this shit happens? Let us know down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and if you see Will, you can fuck his wife. But just keep her name out your fucking mouth. And we'll see you guys in the next video.